Hello everybody and welcome to Achievement Horse. We are doing an Achievement Hunter tribute because Achievement Hunter have stopped playing, and I'm not playing with Nathan, I'm playing with Reid.
Hello, I am Reid, that's me.
And yeah, we're going to be doing Achievement Horse. This is round one. Round one, we have to grab our vehicle of choice, hit it down the ramp, and have it land on that platform down there, the second platform, not the first one. And I'm going to say, what we did is, for the first two rounds, we both made our own maps. This is the map that I made. It's more of an edit of one I made back in the day. And Reid made a map we're going to be playing a little later on, and it takes a bit longer than this one.
Yeah, this one really is not as easy as it looks. Yeah, like, it's quite difficult, and I sucked at it completely.
You say that. It was probably the shortest map of all the rounds we played. You didn't really understand how to play. You also kept doing this. You kept driving into the...
I thought that's what you were supposed to do. I just want to reiterate, I'm blue, the one that sucks.
Ah, yes, and I am red, of course, as I normally am. Well, I say normally. Me and Nathan have only done 2 rounds. There's you failing. I think that was actually your closest attempt.
Yeah, you know,
slight spoiler.
I got the good bouncy bounce on that one.
But yeah, what you basically wanted to do was get your sort of mongoose or warthog. You had a choice. You had to get it like side by side. This is what you kept doing. Your technique was failing because you kept parking it on the ramp and it would just roll down.
Yeah, I lost it, but I built up a nice little fleet down at the bottom.
Yeah. Also, what you wanted to do was not have it land on its wheels like that, or it just dead stopped when it hit the ramp, if you will.
I mean, for cars, like, that's what you would want. You know, if your real car was falling down a big grid.
Check out that sweet ass barrel roll though. Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't know how to hit a mongoose down a ramp apparently, and you don't do much better.
No, I'm just going in for the slide. You know, it was my technique, and you know, it wasn't a very good one.
Yeah, it kind of. I think we only had a few attempts where we actually got them rolling down the ramp. That was a really good hit, but it landed on its wheels.
I thought that one was actually going to make it.
Look at how many vehicles you have
but,
down there.
But I was just building up a little pile.
And here's me. Look at that. Oh, that's a roll. That's a roll. Go off the ramp and stuck. Look at that.
That was bullshit.
That wasn't bullshit.
Me.
That was skill. Total skill. So I'm the winner of round one. You have an H. You are a huh. Look at you. Sad and depressed up there. All right. This is your map. Reid, would you like to tell the lovely ladies and gentlemen how long it took to make your map?
Well, this map was, you know, a whole 25 minutes.
25 minutes of building. And how long did we play it for?
About over an hour.
Over an hour. Yeah, you accidentally made probably one of the hardest maps we've ever played.
Yeah, completely untested. Honestly, I wasn't even sure if any of this was actually going to work. If you could even complete it. I don't know.
Apparently it's so hard you can't even hit your own man cannon. And this is what we found out, because he never even tested the map, and we very quickly found out the first part was actually impossible. For the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, I thought I really screwed us there, but you know, we eventually figured it out.
We did.
By
this is the
pure
first
genius.
This is just montage of the first 15 minutes of us just overshooting the man cannon because we didn't know how to do it.
I mean, it was a really well-placed kill ball. Props to me.
Yeah, that's about it. Eventually, I don't know how many times we're gonna blow up here. I think I made this way too long. Oh, there's both of us, and you explode, and we flip off. If that happened to you in real life, how many times do you think you would vomit if you span that much in real life?
Honestly, I think you'd probably pass out first. You know, your blood would be flying everywhere, and then, I mean, you'd vomit.
I think this is how we figured out how to do it. If you enter the man cannon sideways, look at that, you get less distance, and you can land on it. So I'm here, finally got to do the man cannon. Here we go. Whee! No.
And a boom. Sorry, mate.
And this is you. Is this the attempt where you... Yeah, so you roll into the man cannon. This is so stupid. You roll into the man cannon, and somehow that gets you up there. You little bastard.
Oh, it's just pure skill. You know, it's just.
There's
just
no skill involved in that whatsoever.
It's just the way I roll, literally.
And there's me. Hey, I'm gonna do it too.
No, sorry.
Okay, but here's me the very next attempt. Watch this shit. This is insane. So I fall off my mongoose. I'm literally inside the kill ball, but somehow do not die. Do not understand. My mongoose decides to kill itself though. But that was a checkpoint, so we did not want to have to do the start anymore after that. And this is where I guess you could say it all goes downhill.
Yeah, this probably was the longest part. You know, the first bit was like maybe 15 minutes, and you know that felt long. But then Oh my goodness gracious.
This probably took us near enough 50, like 5-0 rather than 1-5 to beat, because you just made it insanely ridiculous. So that was the first part. That drop down there is a bit more difficult than it looks, mainly because it's very luck-based. And this is what you have to do at the end. You have to go off that man cannon, bounce off of that man cannon back onto the platform we were just on, land it, and then go into the teleporter. Oh yeah, and the teleporter here didn't work because we just kept blowing up on it.
Yeah, just shot us into the wall. And a booyah! See, that was just my pure genius editing, you know? You may not survive.
It was kind of funny. We sort of had to, like, edit the track very slightly as we went on because we realized that some things didn't work. And this is me. No. I cannot begin to describe you how many times that happened to me. I had like a probably 30% clear rate of just that drop down alone.
Nearly threw the controller across the room.
I honestly came closer than I ever have. This is fantastic. Finally getting that man cannon. Yeah, I'm gonna get it, guys. And straight back up. There we go.
Yeah, that was an unforeseen awesomeness on my part, I just have to say.
And this next attempt, yeah. So I finally got it again. This is very shortly after. And I'm gonna get the distance this time, and look at that bullshit. What is that? Flung me off. And my mongoose almost landed on it too.
Shut up. Bounce, bounce.
An hour later, an hour of our lives later, and you finally do it on your own map. So I guess, I don't know, maybe you cheated somehow, but
I did not. I mean, this was completely untested.
To be honest, that map was really fun, but I was kind of glad it was over, even if I did lose. Okay, here we go. Do you want to tell the lovely ladies and gentlemen about this one?
All right, so this was a death race where you have, you know, one person on each side and exactly the same obstacles, and it's just whoever can get over them first and make it to the end, which is drive into the mine and fusion coil.
So well, you struggled with this first part a bit. I guess I could say that I'm better at the precision driving, stuff that's like quite difficult, quite small to drive on. See here, you had this tiny little rail bit that I got past on my first ride and you fell off immediately.
Yeah, like there was no even trying, you know.
And then this, I would say there were two parts of this map where it sort of fell apart for me, not to spoil who wins, but this ball, or this golf ball roll took me way too long. And this is you trying to catch back up to me and somehow failing the easy beginning part.
Yeah, well, it's not as easy as it looks, you know. I'm good at killing Covenant, not driving my mongoose on small rails and such.
Imagine if you were a Spartan and your entire job, the whole reason you trained your entire life was just to blow up at the end of a course and kill yourself.
Well, as they say in Mad Max Fury Road 2015, witness me.
Witness! Alright. So as you can see here, so Reid actually caught up to me on the golf balls and actually passed me here. He's actually the first to get to the Warthog because I kept struggling on the ball. Look at me. Still back there. And so we're going to go into the slalom bit. I actually do make it here. So this was a really close match for a good portion of it. There were times when you would get ahead. There were times when I would get ahead. But for the most part, we would sort of get stuck at the same difficult parts. Like here's us being awful at driving.
I was just better with my balls, and then I go in, I'm like, oh, how am I going to do this? You know what? Just hone it through. Boom. Double boom.
Almost.
We're getting there.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. And then over.
So you get to continue, and I got stuck here. So you got to get quite far ahead. Look at this. This is how do you get stuck on that? So I'm going to hit it. It is clearly off of the rock. Clearly off of the rock here. Come on, get in. And it just gets stuck again. What is this?
You keep beating up your car. If you do that, you know, it's not going to work
How
for
else
you.
make so get out and oh, okay. Well, eventually we both got here. So this is the final part. So all you had to do was the small jump section, and the last jump here was actually really difficult, and you couldn't really do it sort of normally. And you had like a 5,000 IQ move here. Look at this. Look at that. You grenade jumped. I would not have thought of that in a million years.
I honestly, I'd never done a grenade jump before, or at least a successful one, so I wasn't sure if that was actually going to work, and it did. And, oh yeah, there we go.
You are now in the lead, sir. I am a hoe. I'm a dirty, dirty hoe. You
are just a hoe, I'm just a huh.
And I was actually right behind you. I think probably 20 seconds after that, I did the jump as well. So after those two rather, I guess you could say, challenging ones, we decided to do this nice, simple one. This platform is the entire map. And all you have to do is jump into the water, and somewhere under those waves is a small bounce pad. And if you bounce off the pad, you win. And so this whole map, there's not much footage of it because the whole map is just us jumping into the water and killing ourselves, hoping we bounce off something.
Yeah, you know, like it's the world's greatest dive. You know.
So I don't know
So
if you
close
caught it
to
there.
it.
I don't know if you caught it there, but if you go back and pause the video there, you see Reid was actually probably pixels away from bouncing off of it. I don't know why. In the theater camera, you can actually kind of see the bounce pad sometimes, but when you're playing, you can't see it. So it was very challenging for us. And you kept getting on like all the windows and trying to jump in all like weird places.
I thought the creator would have put something intricate in to make it much more difficult. So we really have to use big brain power.
Look at that! Hey! Unfortunate for you. I found the strat was not jumping off, but just walking off the platform. Oh, and here's you
Bullshit.
right after. Look at that. If you had done that 6-7 seconds earlier, you would have won that round, but alas. Oh, and here is your favorite round of all of them. So
That's not true.
This one is a really long course all the way around Forge World, which it's all simple. A couple of man cannons, a couple of jumps. It's nothing too hard until you realize that if you fall off your mongoose at any point, there is a surprise. And what's the surprise, Reid?
You get teleported right back to the start.
Well, not even to the start. You get teleported into a kill ball. But yeah.
Into
So
a
this
kill
is a bit of an example. So this is you here. We both got pretty well on our first attempt, and you fell off, and you're gone. Into a kill ball out in the middle of nowhere.
Bye-bye.
And this is, I want to put, this is probably the greatest driving I've ever seen by anyone in existence. Look at it. Look at this beautiful driving. Stellar example of how to drive down a staircase.
Yeah, you know, it's just how I do it casually, you know. I don't like to do tricks.
And then you get stuck.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did
right.
you manage that?
Right on the edge. I don't know, well, my tires just sort of phased through.
Okay, here's me. Also, the creator of this map, we kind of know, the creator of this map, we know him a little bit, but he's also kind of a jerk because he puts mines just right where you can't see them and right in the quickest path through the canyon.
You can see them from a distance. I mean, come
Oh,
on.
what about this one? Look at this whoosh!
Boom!
How did you jump over that? You were pixels away from that thing.
I felt really badass. But, the rest of my attempts were not so badass.
Yeah, this is where most attempts died. This is probably like just under a quarter of the way through the map. That's probably the first like RNG part, if you will. And so this is me. This is me probably near the end. This is 3/4 of the way through. This is the final man cannon jump. All I have to do is land this jump, and I basically got a free run to the end, and no.
Goodbye. Ha 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 ha. But
Off into the blue oblivion. Oh yeah,
I
and
never
also
made it that far.
the start of the map also kind of sucks too. That's the very first jump. That's probably meters into the track, and that wasn't even doable sometimes. But alas, you know what happens when I finish the course here, Reid? I beat you, and I believe this will either tie it or I've kind of lost track of us. But look at that, through the finish without falling off my mongoose, and you, Reid, are a whore.
Yep, full-blown whore. You are just a hoe.
I am a hoe. Would you rather be a hoe or a whore?
Hey man, what's a pimp? Always a pimp.
Ah, and you actually did like this map, even though you did. Well, we both kind of struggled on this. There's a lot of mines on this map. This is by T. Volcom, which I believe is actually a remake of a Halo 4 map. And essentially, you gotta go through those mines at the beginning. It's a bit tricky, but it's not too bad. You take a man cannon over to the worst landing of a man cannon jump I've ever seen in my life. Look at this. It's so ridiculously angled, you can't even really drive on it. Look at that. I couldn't even stop. I landed on it perfectly, but I couldn't even stop. I just drove off.
I never really made it past sort of the first part. Getting to that first man cannon was difficult enough. Even getting through this minefield. It was literally just a minefield of mines.
Yeah, a minefield. That you're not wrong about that.
Yeah,
so I
man.
think what's happened? Oh yeah, so we had an honor system. So whoever the first person to get to the mines here would the other person would have to wait for them to finish going through it. And this is what happened to you most of the time. You'd hit it and bounce off. That was basically you pretty much 100% of the time.
Yeah, courage and honor we lived by on this track.
This is my attempt. And woo! First mine you can possibly hit.
I don't know exactly how you managed that.
And sometimes the honor system, it kind of fails sometimes because you do stuff like this. And you blow me up. I did absolutely nothing wrong.
That was kind of your fault for being too close to explosions.
Well, that was
might I
your
say.
fault for sucking at traversing the mines. And here's your dead body. Whee! And splat. Your body actually landed it more often than you did.
Well, hey, it was still part of me. In
And
some
here we
way.
go. Crunch. Right on top of you.
Right on top. No respect for the dead. So much that I even just fizzled out of the physical world.
And yeah, the man cannons were a bit tricky too. I think so. This is amazing. This is so good. So you do this man cannon, you fall off here, and you decide to just walk into the man cannon, essentially disqualifying your run.
I'm not
But
sure
watch
why.
this. Watch this. Your mongoose slowly goes into the man cannon behind you, into that one, and it actually makes it all the way to the end without you on it.
That was probably the biggest letdown of my entire life.
But then
My own
shortly thereafter, if you had stayed on that mongoose, you probably would have won. But because of that, I will take this, sir, and I will make you a horse, and only one round away from victory. You getting nervous?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Oh yeah, you
Thank
should
you.
be. You should be. I will say, I probably have a lot more playtime or like hours played on Halo than you, but you proved a bit more of a challenge than I thought.
Well, like I said, it's just my natural skill, you know, coming through. It's just how I roll.
So this map is actually really cool. I really liked this map. This is Anaiski, or Anai is Kai 7. So what you do is you go into that like accelerator, which sends you at light speed across the canyon. And while you're going insanely fast, you have to shoot the mine over in that little kill ball area. And it is tiny compared to how fast you're going. This is how it looks from non-first person. Look at that. That just looks weird.
Honestly, it's genius engineering if you ask me.
And look, where are you? Hey, there you go. Already all the way across the map.
And land and failed many times.
Yeah, so at the speed you were going, it was basically impossible to sort of get the mine. And this, I don't know what you were doing in this attempt, but you weren't even you were aiming at the rock. I don't know why.
I accidentally went in double and then I sort of just lost where I was. It's a lot harder to control when you're flying through the air.
So that's the mine right there.
Shooting out of spite.
But yeah, so also you don't want to enter the man cannon at the same time, or the accelerator at the same time, because then you just hit each other on the head and eviscerate each other.
We learnt that the hard way.
So here we go. Shoot. Boom! Who got it? Oh, I think that is a horse win for me. That is a horse win for me. Oh, lame.
Boom, right at the last second.
At the last possible second.
That's just my marksman skills. How do you feel being a whore now?
I'm a whore. But you will not go quietly into the night. You are a lot more of a challenge than I thought. Nathan would be proud.
Well, thank you for your everlasting doubt.
Alright, so this is round 8. It says survive up there on the top, and that is because the goal of this map is to drop down onto this platform with an assortment of ways to survive the fall and, well, survive the fall. Using any means necessary. You have a bunch of weapons and armor abilities up the top, and if you survive the fall, you walk into that little tunnel of mines, and whoever does that first is the winner. And if I do it first, I win the whole game.
Yep. Well, you know, I had some great ideas here. I wasn't really sure how to land without dying on big heights, if I have to be honest. This is something I'm well experienced in, but you know what? I gave it my best shot.
I did about 3 attempts before you even did your first one, because you were trying this weird armor lock strategy. You were trying to activate armor lock on the way down. And on your very first attempt, you actually survived the drop, but you went into the water.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least I sort of, you know, didn't die upon impact.
Yeah,
No,
well,
I drowned.
So you got the surviving part, but you haven't got the landing on the platform part. That was me with the rocket launcher strategy. Did not work out very well. And this is you trying the rocket launcher strategy as well. So you copied it, and it did not work out for you.
Yeah, I hit the ground faster than my rocket did.
Yeah, I think we both did the same. And this next attempt, so you picked up the evade here, and you had this idea you'd evade into the ramp over here and try and survive the fall. You also tried to use a grenade, which I guess is kind of smart. And so because you copied my rocket launcher strategy, I copied your evade strategy, and look at this!
Yeah, well, let's just remember that the idea was still mine, so I can take some sort of credit for that.
Yeah, but you know what happens when I hit this mine, right? That means I have victory!
Boo! But well deserved.
I win. Reid, you are the first non-Nathan horse.
Wow.
So I remain undefeated.
I am so honored to be a horse. In my life goal. Ow, and then you killed me.
Yeah, we just had to have a little thing.
Even though
so
you
thank you all
defeated me.
very much for watching. Farewell, Achievement Hunter. This has been a tribute horse video. Now I'm going to jump off the cliff and say farewell.
Bye.